Just looking at the Wolfpack here, Purple. Huge Ash put sunnies on Juddy's head and he'll resemble Alex Perry. Because we did have a photo of Juddy put up online. Teddy Wheeler says, Chardy says, come on, Juddy, it's the G. It's Etihad, on a Friday night, not the Spice Market. There's actually some nice ones here. If Purple's copping it over his scarf, says Ash Harvey, he can always claim it's European.
Come on,
a European boot, something you never thought you'd hear on Triple M footy. And I like this one here up a bit further. Well, not good for you, Purple, but it's, old Leslie Keefe says, I propose that the Chief grab one end of Purple's poxy scarf, Juddy grab the other end, and they have a tug of war.
Chief could do it with one hand.
I think that's a bit harsh. By the time we get to this stage of a Friday night, the pack are ready for it. They've had enough. They like the footy talk, and they like hearing about the Olympics. They, of course, like everything we do. That's why we rate so highly. But they do love Purple, this segment that has become a staple on a Friday night. Hit it.
Ship the hell off.
Ship off.
Ship off. Ship off. Find a little boat and ship the hell off. It's a little different tonight, Jim. Right. There's some odd ones in here, but just a few things that caught my attention. I think we all would agree that Tuesday the 9th was a bit of a debacle. Census night. Between the federal government, the Australian Bureau of Statistics and the service provider, IBM, something went horribly, horribly wrong.
It did.
But if you're like me and you're sitting up half the night trying to get on and do it, given that they were still tweeting and running ads saying you have to do it tonight after the website had been closed down, you probably have every right to be a little bit peeved. I then doubled up and started to do it the next day, Jim.
And?
Had the same issues.
Oh, no.
And then you see, you'll be threatened with a fine if you don't do it.
$180 a day.
Absolutely ridiculous, these flogs. And apparently they expected these denial of service cyber attacks. And heads are going to roll, but as far as I'm concerned, they can all ship off, Jim. I just thought it was one great debacle.
I agree.
What else should I talk about next? Well, let's go to the Olympics.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned with the network that's providing the coverage.
Oh.
Now, you like to see different events. You like a variety, and everyone has different tastes of what they like to watch in the Olympics. So I'm flicking between 7, and for whatever reason, Channel 7.2 has dropped off Fox, and they brought in 7 Mate on 188 instead of 137, which was 7.2. So if you want to watch 7.2, you have to go out of Foxtel back to your free-to-air, which is too hard, and just don't do it. But I would like to think if I'm watching something on Channel 7, then I go to 7 Mate to watch something else, I'm not going to get the same shit, Jim. And yet sometimes I do. And that is so annoying. Channel 7 can ship off and get it right, please. And then their argument might be, well, you've got the 7 app where you can watch what you want. I don't want to watch something on a tiny handheld device, Jim. I'd like to watch it on my big TV.
You're using that for something.
Is that asking too much?
No.
Give us a spell, 7. Speaking of the Olympics, while we're on it, we all know the magnificent efforts of Mac Horton to win the men's 400 free, which was outstanding, and he beat old mate Sun Yang, the Chinese man that had a little spell for whatever reason, may have taken a prohibited substance, but he's back in it.
Yep.
And then apparently Mac had a little niggle at him, and all of China's turned on Mac Horton. Well, today Chen Xinyi was the first Chinese swimmer to receive a positive test at the Olympics, the first swimmer, in fact, to test positive. She came 4th in the 100 butterfly final. So I think the entire Chinese population can ship off for attacking our Mac Horton. That just doesn't wash.
He got abused, Chief.
In the world of...
He shipped
all
a
of
whole
China.
nation off.
There's a few there, too.
Million.
There's a few there. I don't know if you can imagine this happening. Have you ever been... And in fact, I know you have, Jim. You're always running late. You're going to the airport... Flight closed.
That is, yes.
Well, this happened to a gentleman in Spain. Got to the air bridge and the plane had left. So what did he do? He jumped off the end of the air bridge, 3 metres down onto the tarmac with 2 bags over his shoulder, sprinted after the plane, waving to the pilot to get his attention.
No.
And what happened? They allowed him on the plane.
No.
Anywhere else in the world, including Australia, you get shot before you get anywhere near that plane.
That's it.
What is wrong with Spanish security, given what's happening around the world at the moment? Can you believe that happened?
No, I can't believe
Extraordinary. So the whole of Spain can ship off too.
Jim once made a phone call to stop a
To
plane
hold
from
a
leaving.
plane. Yeah.
In a car.
This bloke,
That is true.
This bloke couldn't be bothered with a phone call. He just said, I'll chase it out in the tarmac.
He didn't quite.
And finally, Jim, now this one's close to your heart.
Yes.
Police have released an image of a man wanted for theft. He stole a $60 penis pump from a Mildura sex shop, Jim. Now, apparently, he said he was just browsing, but then when he left the shop, the alarms went off. And the image they've released this bloke looks like the sort of bloke that hangs around sex shops and steals penis pumps. So he is just a sicko that should ship off.
What's he look like, sir?
Oh, not good.
He's
Just a grub.
He's thumped a penis pump.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
That might do us, Jim.
I think that might. Is there any way we can be hated on by the Chinese nation? Can that happen to us, Purple? You're more tech savvy than I am.
We might get away with it on a Friday night football coverage, Jim.
Yep.
Matt Horton didn't get away with it.
No. Even though the truth is 100% his defence.
And he got backed up by a US swimmer too, who did just as good a job.
Yeah, and a French swimmer who said that old Son pisses purple.
He said he saw it, didn't he?
I tell you what, even though what's happening in France is obviously deplorable and everything that's obvious within that sentence, I do love the Frogs. They just don't give a stuff.
Nah.
They just pin their ears back purple and say exactly what they want and
don't
don't give a damn about the consequences. And for me, that is absolutely brilliant. All right, we've got the Wolfpack up and about now. Georgie Carappas, one of our regulars. Chief, nice and pissed off this week. A real nice spread, including a special hashtag Olympic edition, hashtag flogged a penis pump. And then the sporting photos, Chief shipping off China is just gold. Ash Casey, 1.3 billion have just been shipped off. Hashtag Chief on fire. Adrian Pickles, ship off a nation if you don't mind. Some of Chief's best, ship right off, says Daniel. And where have I got one here? Oh, Ash Harvey. Only the Chief can ship off 1.5 billion people in Spain and China together. Hashtag Wolfpack. I love it.
We'll need to check some feedback on Juddy's fashion as well at some stage, Jim.
All right, we'll see if we can get some
I'm
of
sure
that
the
in there
Pack's
too.
had a look at it and maybe given a few thoughts.
I'm just seeing a lot of strength from where I'm looking at, Chief, from the immediate feedback.
Old Sam Bambury here.
Into it.
I don't expect to get the same shit, Jim. Hashtag International Chief. So they've got around it, Chief. It's always been a special.